Okay. I'm here. I'm here. Let's try this again. We tried this yesterday. We tried it yesterday, but we want to try it again. If at first you don't succeed, try and try again. That's where we're at. I'll be right back, guys. Give me 1 second. Okay. Okay. I'm back. Had to run to the bathroom right quick. But we're here. We're here as usual. Like I said before, if at first you don't succeed, we're going to keep it going. Keep it going. Keep it going. Go on. Am I right? I think I'm right. So did y'all see what was going on with this freaking child philia promoting Dalai Lama? Bro, dude has to step down. I'm talking about yesterday. Have y'all seen this clip? I don't even know if I should show it because, bruh, it's so freaking disgusting. The only reason I want to talk about this is because a lot of times, especially as conservative, traditional minded, black promoting black power people, we speak against the secret agenda, not even secret, but the agenda that's being promoted in situations like Hollywood and with these some loose liberals, promoting the LGBT community. And I don't have anything against the LGBT community per se. I think if you're an adult, you should go off. You should have the right to do whatever you want to do in private. Whatever you want to do, that's your life. I'm not really speaking down on that. But we have so much attention on those type of issues, and we don't spend any time looking at the real problem, which is chomos. Now, when I'm making this video, when I'm making this live, I'm going to have to watch some of my language because, mind you, there's an algorithm going on here. I'm still building my channel, so I can't use certain words because it'll flag and get my channel dinged. But we don't want that, right? But I do want to bring attention to this serious issue, which is that of chomos. It's a real issue. And yeah, you could argue that this situation with the Dalai Lama, it happened overseas. It wasn't here in America. But it doesn't matter where it happens. It really, to me, it doesn't matter where it happens. It's something that needs to be addressed. It's something that needs to be stamped out. It's something that needs to be called out because it's a serious issue and it builds. Where do most of these people who push this LGBT line come from? A lot of these folks have been victimized themselves. The victimized grow up to become victimizers. So we really need to focus a lot of our attention on these victimizers who are attacking these young kids and leave the adults who choose to do their own thing, leave them alone. Now, yeah, you can say I bring some attention to those issues, especially issues considering the trans community, what they're doing with sports and the way that they're, co-opting language and bathrooms and really infiltrating society, tricking heterosexual men, trying to take over the space from women. There is reason to keep that as a topic. There is reason to bring light against this issue. We have to speak out against these things and can't be afraid of the backlash because these are problems that are really affecting our society, in my opinion. So that's what I'm going to do on my channel. I'm going to address it. I'm going to bring some attention to these issues. But while we're addressing these issues, we cannot be deterred. We cannot be distracted. We have to have just as much issue, just as much emotion, just as much passion when we're talking about what's going on with these kids, man. Because that's really the future. That's really the future. And that's really what needs the most attention. So like I said, I don't really want to play this entire video. I just want to give y'all some background information on what's happened with this Dalai Lama situation. Like I said, I'm not going to play this whole thing, man. Man, that thing is gross. I really feel bad with that even in my search history. You know, I had to look up the video because I had to know what's going on in the news and see what exactly happened. You know, bruh, it kind of just thinking about it kind of makes me sick, man. It really makes me sick to even think about. I don't even want to put y'all. I don't even want to subject y'all to that. To be honest with you, I'm not going to subject y'all to that because, but that's some hard stuff to watch, man. That's and with people who actually watch that type of stuff and get off on that type of stuff, because it's really a global issue, and that's why I'm so passionate. That's why I'm talking about it today because man, it's really a global issue. When we talking about now, I'm not, I'm, you know, I'm FBA, Foundational Black American. I'm pushing this FBA line. But at the same time, you could say that I'm somewhat of a Pan-Africanist. I believe that the diaspora, I believe that all black people worldwide have to have a level of unity. And when you're talking about these chomos, that's one of the biggest issues affecting Africa, man. So when I see things like this, no matter where it is, it's something that it's something that really needs to be called out because too many people let it slide. Too many people have an issue with the gays, but then won't say nothing about the chomos. Like even in the video with this Dalai Lama kissing this boy, do you know that he did this in broad day? There are people that did this in broad day. There are adults watching this happen and they're clapping for it. They're clapping for it. They're laughing. Do you hear me? They're laughing. There are adults watching this happen. They are laughing at it. They're laughing at it, man. They're laughing at it. And just think about this kid. This is on the internet. This is gonna happen. This kid is gonna grow up. He's gonna find a wife hopefully one day, Lord willing. And this man's gonna have to always in the back of his mind know that there was a time that his face went super viral for the most disgusting thing ever, man. For the most disgusting thing ever. And he didn't ask for this. He did not ask for this, man. He did not ask for this. And where his parents are in the audience, nobody's standing up saying, hey, hey, hey. Nobody's saying, nobody's surprised, aghast. Nobody's caught off guard seeing this. The Dalai Lama is supposed to be, according to their religion, like the most enlightened human being on earth. This is the Dalai Lama. He's supposed to represent the pinnacle of enlightenment. He's supposed to represent the pinnacle, the height of enlightenment. And this man is over here touching little boys in public with no shame, thinking that this is just normal, just natural. And just thinking about it, man. Just thinking about it, man. It's rough. It's rough, man. It's a rough thing to see. I'm gonna share this. Y'all check this out, man. Y'all check this out. Like I said, man, just for, I'm not gonna play the whole thing. Don't worry, I'm not gonna play the whole thing. I'm gonna pause it so y'all don't see nothing too graphic. But y'all gotta just have some idea of what I'm talking about. When I say there are people here, his parents here, this is in broad daylight that this is happening. And he feels so bold, so comfortable. Let me pause my music right quick. Right quick. So you can get a full understanding of what's going on here.
Can I hug you? It's a question.
So the boy asks, "Can I hug you?" Just an innocent young boy asking, "Hey, can I hug you?" His parents are probably in the audience. He's so excited to meet his hero. This is his hero, man. This is his hero. This is the Dalai Lama. This boy's excited to meet his hero. He's like, I might never get the chance to see this man again in life. There are all these adults standing around in the room. There's adults sitting behind a Dalai Lama. This is a woman standing here on stage. There's people in the crowd. He asked the question, "Can I hug you?" Full of excitement and innocence. Look how the Dalai Lama acts.
Okay, come.
He says, "Okay, come." You see, it's like a graduation. You have all these other kids sitting here. You have parents in the back. There's parents. There's adults. There's security. This is not like, oh, allegedly, the Dalai Lama does something with some kid in the comfort of his own home, like a Michael Jackson situation. He said, she said. No, this is in front of everyone. This is at a graduation. Adults are here. Security is here.
Who's here?
So the Dalai Lama says, "First here," pointing to his cheek. The boy's like, "I only asked for a hug," but he's a young boy, maybe what, 6, 7 years old. He's like, "Okay, first here, okay, sure, I'll give you a quick, okay, Grandpa, I'll give you a kiss on the cheek." He's still in his innocence. He's thinking, it's no big deal. I just wanted a hug from my hero, the Dalai Lama, the pinnacle, the most enlightened one, the Dalai Lama. And don't worry, guys, I'm not going to play this whole thing, but just to get an idea of what's going on here. He gives him a hug, smile for the camera,
Then?
and you see he tries to walk away, but the Dalai Lama grabs his arm. The Dalai Lama grabs his arm. He gave Grandpa a kiss on the cheek, a hug, and he's ready to walk away. He's like, I got my hug from my hero. I'm happy. You took a picture with the Dalai Lama. Let me go back to my mom in the audience. But the Dalai Lama grabs his hand. Do you see his hand? The Dalai Lama grabs his hand. And watch how things start to get awkward in front of all of these adults. But you hear laughing and clapping in the back.
I think finally here also.
He thinks he's getting a kiss on the forehead. He thinks he's getting a kiss on the forehead. Dalai Lama says no and lifts his chin to give a kiss on the lips. And what do the people do? They clap. What do the people do? They clap. They applaud. So look, do you see how awkward and uncomfortable the kid looks at this point? He's like, okay, I didn't really want to kiss you on the lips. And he's kind of like, can I get my arm back? But the Dalai Lama is holding on to his arm. This kid is in danger. This child is in danger in front of so many people. And they are clapping. They're laughing. Nobody's like, okay, that's enough, Grandpa. What is the kid to do? His whole life he's been told that the Dalai Lama is the pinnacle of enlightenment, the wisest man. And now what does he do when I'm stuck in front of all these people and nobody will help me? Nobody will stand up. And look at this awkward stare.
My tongue.
He says, "Suck my tongue," and sticks his tongue out. I'm not going to show any more. I'm not going to show any more here. Nope, I refuse. I refuse. I'm not showing any more. I'm not showing any more after that. But the only reason I'm showing that is to say, do you see the reaction? Do you see the reaction of the people? Do you see the reaction of the people who are clapping and not saying anything to this awkward behavior? Nobody stands up and, hey, if it was me, if that was my kid, because mind you, this is a child, right? Where there's a child, there's usually a parent who's responsible for that child. The mom, the dad, the uncle, the cousin, whoever brought that kid to that graduation, at this point, after saying that this man not only grabbed his hand after the kiss on the cheek, but also requested that he kiss him on the lips, forget civility. Forget civility. I'm standing up. Hey, okay, that's enough. That's enough. Come here, little Abu. Come here, Abu. What's the kid's name? Come here, Abu. Come here, Aladdin. Hey, listen. I'm reaching out at this point. And when I hear, oh, suck my tongue, I'm beelining for the stage. It's gonna be a ruckus. It's gonna be a ruckus. Do you understand that this is the problem? The problem is people are so scared to make noise. People are so scared to address a problem, even if they see wrong. You know, what's that phrase? What's that phrase that we all know? The only way that for the only thing that keeps the only thing that makes uh what is it? What is the only thing that allows evil to flourish is the fact that good men do nothing? Isn't that the phrase? The only thing that allows evil to flourish is the fact that good men do nothing. And today, good men have been attacked so much. So much. Good men have been attacked so much they become complacent. They become scared to defend what they know is right. They become scared to defend what they know is right. Put my music back on. But yeah, good men, you know there's some men in the crowd who aren't feeling that. But what are they scared to do? Well, am I going to tell the Dalai Lama no? Am I going to embarrass the Dalai Lama? Yes. Yes, it's your job to embarrass the Dalai Lama. The theme of this channel is I will unite with anyone to do right, and I will unite with no one to do wrong. That was a quote from Frederick Douglass. And you got to take that to heart. These days, we're all separate, we're all divided, but when there's something going wrong, we just allow. Man, it's sick, man. Shout out Trayvon. Shout out Trayvon, bro. Did you see this? Bro, I had to cut it off, dog. I had to cut it off, man. I had to cut it off. Bruh. That. I try to keep my language on this channel clean, but man, that kind of made me feel some type of way, bruh. That joint got me feeling some type of way. I don't like it. I don't like that at all, dog. I don't like the fact that nobody said anything about it. Nobody said anything about it. They're over here clapping. It's people in the audience clapping. Nobody stood up. Nobody was surprised. Nobody was like, nothing. There's women on stage, just feet away. Stand up. If you don't feel comfortable enough to say something, just stand up. Stand up. Let your presence be felt. Let your aura of I disagree with this situation be known. But now we so comfortable. We so comfortable with evil. We're so comfortable and we're so scared of repercussions. We're so scared to be the one to stand up and say, no, this is wrong. We're so scared to say this is wrong because, oh, you're saying it's wrong? That's the Dalai Lama. Who are you? Oh, what's wrong with kissing a child? People would defend. You know there's somebody who would defend that. If you were to be the man and say, nah, I'm not rocking with this, little Abu, get up off that stage, Abu. Abu, take your little magic carpet flying. Get off the stage, man. Get off the stage, Abu. No, this is not cool. You know what's a lot easier than standing up to the Dalai Lama? Just clap it up. Just clap it up and laugh. Man, and that sorry, okay, I'm ranting on that. Let me woosah. Let me woosah, man, cause that got me hot, bro. I really don't like that. Let me woosah, cause I'm getting off topic. Okay, okay. I gotta calm down. I gotta calm down a little bit. But listen, the reason I wanted to address this was not just because of what happened with the Dalai Lama. But like I said, people are going to take this situation and just think about the Dalai Lama and not realize the bigger picture. Do you know that people are making right now today? I saw videos of people making videos about Budweiser having this tea dude. I forget Mulvaney something. Dylan Mulvaney. Some trans activist has become the spokesperson for Budweiser, and people are making a big stink about that. People are saying that, you know, we're not going to support Budweiser. Budweiser is going woke. You know, I like the old Budweiser girls who were real women, who look like real women, versus having this pale face trans activist coming into a man's space because, you know, most women don't drink beers. Let's be real. The majority of beer drinkers are men. So they advertise to men. So when you start changing what men actually are interested in, which is women, natural born X chromosome having women, and you replace those XX chromosome having women with these XY dudes who go through some surgery and now they want to take over the place of a real woman, you're gonna feel some backlash. But my thing is, why are they having so much backlash against? Now, I agree with the backlash. I'm not supporting Budweiser and what they're doing either. But at the same time, you'll hear so many voices point that out, and not so many voices point out the fact that, yo, you got all these chomos in the world, and these chomos are creating those trans activists that you don't like. You don't like the trans activists, but you're not saying nothing about the chomo. And the chomo is the one who victimizes these children. And when these children get victimized and they grow up, what do you think they become? A lot of people, a lot of these lesbians, a lot of gay folks, a lot of trans folks, I feel some empathy towards them. I don't try to attack them. When I say I have a problem with their agenda, I'm talking about the agenda. But the people, the individual people who identify as trans, who identify as gay, who identify as lesbians, my heart goes out to those folks. I have a lot of lesbian friends, especially in DC. I got a lot of lesbian friends. I got a couple gay friends. I don't really have any trans friends, but my heart goes out to them all the same. You know, I got a lot of empathy for these people on an individual level. I don't promote the lifestyle and I don't promote their agenda. But the people, man, I got a lot of love. I got a lot of love and empathy for those people because I know they've been through a lot. It's not an easy lifestyle that they're going through. It's not an easy life that they're going through. And a lot of those people are survivors and have been victimized as children. A lot of them. People don't really talk about that. People don't really talk about that. People don't really talk about that. Even now, did you see the news? I think over there in Uganda, people have changed the laws. They made like the most aggressive laws against gay people. Like they're saying in Uganda. Let me see if I can find the article. They're saying in Uganda, if you identify as gay, you might be subject to the death penalty. They're saying you might end up getting the death penalty. Let me see if I can share my screen on this. Let me see if I can share my screen on that. In Uganda, and mind you guys, there's a new format for me. I'm trying to get this new software to work. I think it's a decent stream, so if you can come in here, be sure to hit the like if you make it this far. If you made it past my rant, I'm already impressed with you because I know I already went off the rails with that. I got a little emotional. I got a little passionate about that sick stuff that Dalai Lama was doing. So I kind of got off topic. I did have something I wanted to talk about today. I'm all off topic, so I'm just going. This vibe is just a confirmation that I got the software working. And sorry, my here. Loosen this up a little bit. got the push on the back. All right, it's all good. Yeah, let me share my screen here. Show y'all what I'm talking about as far as this Uganda stuff. Y'all coming in here, be sure to hit the like button. Y'all be sure to hit the like button for your boy. Y'all rocking with that background music? Let me see if I can share my screen on this. Make sure y'all can see this. Here, I'm gonna take myself off for a little bit. Y'all check this out. Y'all bear with me, guys. I'm still new to this. You know, I'm an old man at heart, still figuring this internet thing out. You know, I'm over here on the internets, trying to figure the internets out, how to make this thing pop for y'all. But I'm gonna get it. You know, I get a little bit better every day. I get a little bit better every day. So, all right. So y'all check this out, man. Uganda has just passed a new. Let me cut my music down so you can hear me read this article for y'all. So Uganda's new anti-homosexuality law bans identification as LGBTQ. So before, up until now, if they've had laws against like homosexual marriage, that's somewhat understandable, especially because I believe homosexual marriage is a privilege. It's not a right. Marriage itself is a privilege, not a right. Especially when you get into some of these Muslim countries, when you talk about some of these countries that came from theocracies, when you come to some of these countries, even, I mean, I'm a Hebrew Israelite, so even in the Hebrew, Judaic, Christian belief system, marriage is between a man and a woman. In America, we have the blessing of separation between church and state, and as an American, I support this. I think that is a very good idea, a very good idea that the founding fathers of America implemented in our Constitution is the separation of church and state. I think that's excellent. In some countries, they don't have this separation, or their separation isn't as clear cut and defined as ours. So I cannot blame them for not granting this privilege of marriage to same sex couples. However, I think it's a bit extreme. I think it's extreme. It's very extreme, way too far, in my opinion, to outlaw or criminalize sexual relationships in general. Because when you start doing that, you open your country up to false allegations. We know that even in America, men are victims of false allegations all the time. Women get upset, and just like Jonathan Major, the Creed actor, was falsely accused of assault. You know, we have people like Michael Irvin, the Hall of Fame football player, was accused of molesting some woman. I gotta watch my words. Of touching, graping some woman, and their entire interaction was caught on camera in a hotel lobby. So false allegations happen in every society. So for you to give a blanket weapon against people, saying, "Oh, if you are accused or if you have are found guilty of committing some type of homosexual act, you can be facing up to the death penalty." That's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy to me. But then let's read a little bit more about this article before I tell y'all some more. All right. So Uganda's new anti-homosexuality law bans identification as LGBT.
Uganda's parliament has passed sweeping anti gay legislation that proposes tough new penalties for same sex relationships and criminalizes anyone identifying as LGBTQ. While more than 30 African countries, including Uganda, already ban same sex relationships, the new law passed on Tuesday appears to be the first to outlaw merely identifying as lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer, Human Rights Watch said. Like I said, they're the first ones to outline just the act. Now, it hasn't been signed yet by President Museveni, who, although he has passed, although he openly and has long opposed LGBTQ rights, and he has signed an anti-LGBTQ law in 2013, he's not really making this a high priority. He says, nevertheless, the 78-year-old leader has consistently signaled he does not view this issue as a priority and will prefer to maintain good relations with Western donors and investors. So even though he might promote it, he's like, it's not that big of an issue that I want to start upsetting the money over this. We're going to lose money over some virtue signaling, really. But you know, some people would disagree with that. It's really an indictment of Western society. If you ask me, I think this has less to do with, their hatred towards gay, which might be very real in that culture and is very real in many cultures. But I think it also has to do with a pushback against Western culture. I think Western societies, America being the primary example, is trying to push Western culture down these less developed nations' throats. And in response and pushback to that, one of the ways to signal that they are not aligning with Western culture and Western values is to say, hey, you all are for all this crazy LGBTQ stuff. Well, we're not having it in Uganda. And I mean, that's a fair sentiment. But the problem is you're shooting yourself in the foot because, well, let me tell you why. Violations under the law. Oh, Violations under the law also involve steep penalties, including death for so-called aggravated homosexual and life in prison for gay sex. So you can spend your entire life for having gay sex in Uganda. Man, that's tough. That's tough, man. And then people in America complaining. Oof, oof. Let's finish this paragraph. Aggravated homosexuality involves gay sex with people under 18 years old, or when a person is HIV positive, among other categories according to the law. Now here's the thing that I don't understand. How are you going to have aggravated homosexuality as gay sex, which can cause you life in prison or even the death penalty? Where's that pushback for just heterosexual chomos? If you do gay sex, if you as a man molest or touch an underage boy, you are looking at life in prison or the death penalty in Uganda. But if you're a grown man and you touch an underage girl, you're not looking at the same, you should be looking at the same penalty. The fact that this is a child is the issue, not the fact that it's a boy or girl, regardless of the gender of the child. Childhood should be protected because these children grow up to adults. And then how are you going to victimize the children, but then when they grow up, you expect them not to have their own sexual, issues, sexual confusion, sexual perversion, sexual defense mechanisms? Imagine you're a girl getting touched by a grown man. You grow up, and as a defense mechanism, you say, "Hey, I would rather just date girls. I don't trust men. I don't want to be with men. A man touched me when I was a child. I don't like men. The smell of men remind me of that time when I was a child." So you drift towards being with girls instead. But then when you drift towards girls, the Ugandan government, the power of the entire country, comes down on you and can offer you up to the death penalty if you get sick. If you get sick, you're facing the death penalty. you were victimized as a child in this scenario. You grow up, you try to avoid the gender of the victimizers, and then you get sick, and the government wants to throw you in jail forever or worse, give you the death penalty. That seems fair. That seems fair. I'm sure there's some people defending this law. That seems fair to you? I think we need to have more empathy when it comes to these adults who are facing their sexual perversion, sexual fetishes, sexual, lifestyles, that deviant lifestyles, deviating from the norm, deviating from what the majority of us indulge in. We need to give these folks more empathy, and we need to give more passion and more protection to the kids who grow up to be these confused individuals. Hey, that's just what I think. Mind you, Uganda is one of the worst places to be if you're a child. Do you know how prevalent, how big of an issue child trafficking is in Uganda? Check this out.
They asked me to refund over $3,000, which I did not have. My boss started beating me, torturing me with gas-heated metallic knives. I have scars all over my body.
Human trafficking increased 97% in 2021.
We went through Sudan, but on our way,
I don't know, man. I don't know. The bottom line, man. I don't even know if I've seen too much today. It's hurting my spirit. I was gonna play some more of that video, but man, it's hurting my spirit to even keep talking about this topic. But you know what? Okay, Sophia. Ugandans are not banned in the Gulf region. I mean, that's good. That's good. I don't know what that, you know. Okay. All right. That's good. Well, I don't know if you just came in, but I'm talking about what's going on in Uganda as far as their anti-LGBTQ laws. I wonder how you feel about that. Are you promoting that, or are you supporting that, or you think they're tripping? Well, yay or nay? Give me a thumbs up if you're with it. Give me a thumbs down if you're against it. What you think about that? I'm thinking you just came in here. I'm thinking you just came in here. You might not have heard what I was talking about, but they're saying they're outlawing the homosexual act altogether. So that means if you're caught doing a homosexual act, you can be thrown in prison for that. Forget homosexual marriage. If you get caught doing anything gay, if you even identify, say, "Oh yeah, I'm gay," you didn't even do anything gay. You just like, "Oh, by the way, I like guys," or if you're a girl, by the way, I like girls. Throw them in prison. You with that? Give a thumbs up if you with it. Give a thumbs down if you against it. Tell me how you feel about that. Tell me how you feel about that, because I personally, I'm not with it. I'm not with it. I think in the West they're going too far left with the promotion of the LGBTQ stuff, but Uganda's going too far right, man. You can't be outlawing stuff, giving people reason. Let's say I have a business let's say I have a business, right? And you got a business across the street, and we're both selling fruit. We both got fruit stands. I got the best peaches, strawberries, and pineapples, and you got the best peaches, pineapples, and strawberries. The second best. You got the second best peaches, pineapples, right? If we're in competition, all I gotta do is say, "Oh yeah, you know, I saw Brandon over there doing his thing with Steve. I can get you up out of the way just by saying, "Oh, I saw you doing something." Now it's on you to prove to the government that you didn't do it. You over here caught up going to court. You're missing days at work. Next thing you know, my pineapple stand is taking over. You see what I'm saying? I think you're giving people ammunition. You're giving people ammunition. Let's see what you got to say about it. They're expressing their sovereignty like they did with Idi Amin and expulsion of South Asian Indians. So am I. Okay. I see that. That's a good point. And I mentioned that earlier. I did mention that earlier. You know, what they're doing is they're trying to push back against the West. They're trying to show, look, in the West, y'all are promoting that LGBTQ stuff. Over here in Uganda, we're not going for it. And I understand that. I do understand that. I do understand the willingness, the desire to push back against the Western culture and Western influence. I definitely understand that. Matter of fact, I support that. But the problem is they're shooting themselves in the foot with this mentality. They're shooting themselves in the foot. And like I said earlier, I know people are going to support this. I know people are going to support this law because it's a slap in the face to Western society. Listen, I'm not promoting this too far left, Western liberal society. I'm not promoting all of that. But what I'm saying is, in an effort to distinguish yourself, in an effort to push back against Western society, you're shooting yourself in the foot. You're taking rights away from your own citizens. Imagine if you were the president. Imagine if you were a citizen in Uganda. And imagine this. Imagine you're a citizen. I don't know if you're a boy or a girl, but shout out to you. First of all, you've been a long time follower, a long time subscriber to the channel. So salute. I really do appreciate you. All right, Sophia. I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? Always checking out the videos. You've been a long time supporter. I appreciate that for real. But yo, check this out. Check out where I'm coming from. All right. Shout out. First of all, shout out to Brady, Sophia. Shout out to you. I appreciate you. But listen, check this out. Imagine you over there in Uganda. You're straight. Me, I got 4 sisters. Right? I got 4 sisters and a brother. Imagine me. I'm in Uganda with my 4 sisters. My little sister, when I'm away, I'm working in the gold mines. My little sister gets touched, right? As a child, she gets touched, right? Because we're talking about the way that these chomos victimize kids and they grow up to go away from the other gender. So imagine you got your little sister. Someone gets to her while she's a kid. You busy at work trying to support your family. Your little sister gets touched, right? So she grows up. She doesn't like men anymore. She's like, listen, a man did me dirty when I was a kid. I feel uncomfortable around men. I don't trust men. I don't want to touch men. It's just something about men. Now I don't like men no more. I feel more comfortable hanging out with the girls. I feel more comfortable spending time with the girls. I feel more comfortable only dealing with girls. I don't want to get married. I don't want no kids. I don't want none of that traditional stuff. I just want to spend my time with women where I feel safe and comfortable at. Right? But then somebody can accuse her, whether she is or not, whether she is gay or is not gay, whether she is a lesbian or not a lesbian. Someone can just say, hey, why isn't she married? She's in her 30s. She's not married. I like her. I want to marry her. Oh, but she doesn't want to marry me. So I can say, oh, she must be gay because she doesn't want to marry me. And call the police and say, hey, she's not married. I asked her out. She told me no, she's gay. You go arrest her and take her to court, take her to jail. You see what I'm saying? You see how you're setting yourself up for failure in this situation? You setting people up who are just living their lives. You setting people up who are already having tough lives, already dealing with stuff mentally and emotionally and mentally. A lot of these people were victimized as kids, and they grow up, and you trying to make laws to put them in jail? That's a little bit too much to me. Let's see what you got to say about that. It says China, okay. China and its socialist influence has helped Uganda develop and join their sphere of influence, which requires strict society behaviors be displayed. Okay, okay. Yep, yep, that's true. China is definitely involved in Africa heavy right now. That's true. China is definitely heavily involved in Africa right now. But you know what though? I think this has less to do with China and it has more to do with just Ugandans trying to move away from Western society. I think the majority of Ugandans are Muslim, right? The majority of Ugandans are Muslim already. So Muslims, you already know Muslims and Africans. That's like double. That's like double. First of all, Muslims don't play that gay stuff. Africans don't play that gay stuff. Uganda is Muslim and gay. You know they not. You know they not playing, right? You know they not playing, right? So then when you got these Western societies, it's this move, especially in West Africa right now. You see what's going on in Ghana. You see what's going on in Ghana. See what's going on in Uganda. West Africa is really pushing away. They're trying to push away from the. You see what's going on in South Africa with the BRICS nations. So Africa as a whole is trying to reject the Western powers, trying to get away from the IMF. You see what I'm saying? Trying to get away from Western culture. So whether China was helping or not, Uganda probably feels like they have this is the best chance for them to get away from Western powers because China is helping Africa out. But Uganda's not doing this for China. Uganda is doing it. It's not like Uganda's saying, "Oh, we love China so much, so we want to go with China." No, Uganda's like, I do not rock with the West. I do not rock with America. China, you are better than America. It's not that, oh, we love China so much. It's that we hate America so much. You see what I'm saying? A lot of times we think of the enemy of my enemy as my friend. We think, oh, these Africans are just in love with China. They're getting conquered by China. China's coming in and conquering through soft power. They're colonializing Africa. China's colonializing Africa. That's true and it's false. The reason I say it's false is because the Africans aren't so in love with China. They just really hate the West. And China's the only alternative. You feel me? Let's see what you got to say. Blacks in America was presented with the same opportunity and decided to side with the West and shun socialism. Now you're complaining about their choice? Nah, first of all, I'm not complaining about anybody's choice. You misunderstand me. I'm not complaining about nobody's choice, first of all. But second of all, blacks in America were presented with the same opportunity. When was this? Hey, put it in the comments. When were blacks in America presented with the same opportunity? What year was this? I missed that part of. Listen, it must have been some CRT. I blame Ron DeSantis. I missed that class. When did blacks in America have an opportunity to shun socialism? When was this? What opportunity did the blacks in America have? I don't know about no opportunities that the black in America have. So you gonna have to enlighten me. You can teach me something. Here's your chance. I'm all ears. I want to hear this. Blacks in America was presented with the same opportunity. Who? Opportunity from who? Opportunity from who? I don't remember no countries giving black Americans an opportunity. What? Listen, I missed that day. I missed that day. Yeah, I missed that class. I was absent. I was skipping. I skipped class that day. During the 60s, it cut off, bro. It cut off, shawty. I don't know your background, but it cut off, yo. It cut off, yo. I missed it. During the 60s, what? King was supporting. He was a democratic socialist. King was a democratic socialist. So how did he shun socialism and Martin Luther King was a democratic socialist? I don't understand. I don't understand what you're saying. There was Paul Robinson. I don't understand what you're talking about. You lost me, yo. I don't know what you're talking about. I still don't know who gave us the opportunity to do. We didn't have an opportunity to do nothing. We ain't had a listen. Forget what you talking about. Listen. Hey, yo, let me tell you something. Black Americans weren't given no opportunities to do nothing. We didn't have nobody helping us in the 60s, yo. We didn't have nobody helping us in the 60s. No government was like, oh, we're going to come and build your infrastructure. Like, if you're thinking about what China's doing in Africa, you're talking about countries. You're talking about China making deals with Kenya, China making deals with Ethiopia, China's making a deal with Uganda. There was no country making no deals with black Americans in the 1960s. Black Americans were helping people all around the world. We helping people in Ethiopia. We helping people in South Africa get free of apartheid. We helping other people. Wasn't nobody helping us in the 60s. Wasn't nobody helping us at any time in American history. Was anybody, any country helping black Americans. So you can miss me with that. Communities is better than communism. Okay, that's fine. But we Americans though, so that's irrelevant. In America, we don't got communism, we got capitalism, and black Americans are what, 14% of the population. We can't change capitalism by ourselves. We don't have that type of power. Listen, we doing the best we can. You know what I'm saying? And we got people undermining us. So we doing the best we can. We doing what we can do. And that's all we can do is doing what we can do. We trying our best. We fighting. That's all we can do. We fighting. We the underdog. We got our guards up. We doing the rope-a-dope right now. We taking licks. We doing the rope-a-dope. We taking licks. We just dodging them. Throw an uppercut every once in a while. Hit them with the that's Nat Turner. That's the Maroons. You feel me? We doing the rope-a-dope. We doing the rope-a-dope. It's 1960s. Hitting with the civil rights. Hit him with another uppercut. That's the George Floyd riots. We doing the rope-a-dope. We taking hits. We doing the best we can, yo. We not changing the world, yo. We gotta be real. It says, after returning to the United States in 1939, Robeson supported the American and the Allied war efforts during World War II. However, his history of supporting civil rights causes in Soviet policies. Paul Robeson. Okay, shout out Paul Robeson. But that's one man though. We talking about a country with millions. That's one man though. You know what I'm saying? What you saying? You saying Paul Robeson was supposed to make America communist? You know what I'm saying? What are you saying? I am? That's what you saying? Nah, yo. Paul Robeson's one man, yo. I don't care what he did. That man not gonna change America and make it communist. Not by himself. Not by himself. King didn't do nothing by himself. It was the people around him. It was the people who decided to march. It was the people who decided to boycott. Forget the march. King wasn't powerful because of King. King was powerful because there are hundreds of thousands of people behind King who supported King, who boycotted the freaking buses, who said, okay, I'm gonna be late to work, I'm gonna quit my job, or I'm gonna walk. Instead of getting up at 8 o'clock so I can get to work at 9 o'clock, I'm gonna get up at 6:30 so I can walk my butt to work. And then when I get off at 5, I'm gonna walk back and get home at 8, 9 o'clock. People deciding to walk. People deciding to share their cars. Car shares. This was before Uber. Things was, hey yo, I got 5 for gas. You know what I'm saying? That's how we made it happen. Boycott. Thousands of people on board. No one man can change the world, yo. And that's real. No one man can change the world. You need supporters, yo. If anything you want to do, you need supporters. It's about the people. All power to the people all the time. All power to who? All power to the people. Yeah, King might have had a vision, but he wasn't the only one. Even on his circle. What about Bayard Russell? You know what I'm saying? What about his squad? He ain't got a squad. It wasn't just him coming up with these ideas. Like, for real, for real. I'm telling you, much of Black America had opportunity to explore socialism and did not. Listen. What do you think? Okay, so you tell me, what should they have done? You got the answers, right? You don't got the answers, Sway. You don't have the answers. You don't have the answers, Sway. You saying they should have explored socialism? Okay, let's say all Black Americans decided, yeah, we want the socialism. We down with socialism today. I Thanos snap. I got the Thanos snap. Boom. I got to snap my fingers like Thanos. And now you got 40 million Black Americans in 2023 supporting socialism. Now what? Because the majority of the country is still not supporting socialism. The majority of the country is still supporting capitalism. We are 14% of the population. You still got to worry about the Hispanics. Hispanics aren't rocking with socialism like that. They just fled Cuba. They fleed in some of these socialist countries. They flee in Venezuela. They flee in Brazil. They fleeing. Yo, you got all these Hispanics in America. You think even if you make all the Black people socialists tomorrow, the Hispanics are not rocking with the socialism stuff? You think these white folks, you think these MAGA niggas, you think these MAGA, these Trump supporters, you think they gonna rock with the socialism? Biden supporters are not rocking with socialism like that. Do you understand that the majority of white people in America are not Democrats? I think like less than 1/3. Less than 1/3. That's 33%. 2/3 of white America are Republican, Libertarian, or other. Only 1/3 of white population is Democrats. Black people are the ones supporting the Democrats, holding them up. It's a coalition of Black people, Hispanic people, Asian people, and the 33% of white people. But the majority of white people are not rocking with the Democrats. The majority of white people are not rocking with socialism. Where even if you make all the Black people socialists, then what? We don't got the numbers, yo. We don't got the numbers. Nah. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you out of your mind. We just talking. We having a conversation. I'm just reading your comments. You know what I'm saying? We having a good conversation here. I'm not saying you out of your mind, but I'm just saying we gotta be realistic. Sometimes we get these ideas of like, oh yeah, we should all do this. We could just make this happen. We could just do this, but it's not that easy, yo. It's not that easy. Sometimes we gotta be real. Be like, listen, it's not that easy, yo. It's not that easy. When you get that idea of like, okay, we gotta be realistic. Because the reason I say be realistic, and that is to an extent. I don't want to like shoot shit on your dreams either, because some people will say I'm not being realistic because I support reparations. I support reparations. You see on my channel all the time I'm making videos supporting reparations. Yo, we need reparations. Shouting out California, shouting out the folks in DC who's passing legislation around the reparations. I talk to some of my family members, they be like, oh nah, reparations, it'll never happen. You see what I'm saying? They be like, nah, reparations, it'll never happen. So they would tell me to be realistic, but I'm like, nah, I'm not realistic. So sometimes you gotta stand up for what you believe in, and sometimes you gotta think about the bigger picture and be like, okay, that's why I asked you the question. Okay, let's say all the Black people supported socialism. Then what? Then what? What happens next? What about socialism do you think we should support? When you talk about socialism, are you talking about like UBI, Universal Basic Income? Because that's something I would support. I'm actually thinking about making a video on that. You know, especially we starting to gear up for the 2024 elections. I'm looking at who do we have, who are our options? Nobody. I'm not voting for Biden. Ron DeSantis is out. I'm not rocking with him with his crazy CRT stuff. Right now, I'm looking at Trump. I'm looking at RFK, Robert F. Kennedy, and I'm looking at Andrew Yang. I was going to say I was rocking with Shorty too. What's her name? Marianne Williamson. Because at least she spoke about reparations in a positive light. She brought reparations to the debate stage. She was the first person I've ever seen talk about reparations on a presidential debate stage. So I give her credit for that. I give her credit for that. But you know what I'm saying? As far as the socialist tip goes, maybe I don't know if you're an American citizen. I don't know if you're a citizen or not, but maybe you should be rocking with Andrew Yang. I'd like to see you, you know what I'm saying? Maybe you should make some videos on your channel. Support, you know what I'm saying? Support Andrew Yang. Let your voice be heard. And my bad, I'm rapping because mind you, I still got my channel. I'm rapping, but then I'm checking out your comments too, see what you're talking about. It says Black Americans say they are African in many ways, so they should support Uganda. But now Black America has to deal with race, nationality, religion, and a mesh of issues that Africans on the average don't deal with. Yeah. Yeah, that's real. That's real. Now, I support Uganda as a country. I definitely support Uganda as a country. I would like to see Uganda do better as far as these chomos. Like, there's a lot of sex trafficking going on in Uganda. I want to see them handle that. I want to see Uganda take control of their minerals. I want to see Uganda take control of the resources in their earth. They have so much gold there, so much minerals, cobalt, iron, so many valuable resources in Uganda, and they're just squandering their wealth. I hate to see that. Like, I do support Uganda. That's why I'm talking about it. I'm not saying all this about their LGBT laws to downplay Uganda or to like shoot shit on them. Now I'm saying that to like, I support Uganda. I want to see them live good. And if I'm considering Uganda at a place that I would consider good, I don't think that is a good law. I don't think that's making Uganda better. I think that's making Uganda worse. I don't think that that's a good way to treat your people. So that's why I'm talking about, you know, what's going on in Uganda, because I want to see Uganda win. I care about Uganda. I care about all of Africa. Yeah, I'm FBA. I'm Foundational Black American, but I like Africa. I've been to Africa. I've been to Ethiopia. I've been to South Africa. I've been to Mozambique. I've been, you know what I'm saying? I've been around the world. And nah. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying all this to like shit on Uganda. I care about Uganda. I definitely support them. I just want to see them live better. I want to see them live better as well. But you're right. I mean, Black Americans, we got a lot of issues that other Africans don't really have to deal with. Just like a lot of Africans got problems that we don't have to deal with. See, the thing about, here's really the thing about the split between Africans and African Americans. The split is African Americans are doing our best to make America a better place and our lives in America better. We are not leaving to another country and thinking, oh, if we can just get out of where we are, things will be better. Black Americans en masse are not leaving America. So we're like, okay, we got to fight where we're at to make where we're at better. That's Black Americans' whole mentality is always, we got to make where we're at pop. We got to make where we're at the best place. We're not going nowhere else. We got to make where we're at better. A lot of Africans think, oh, well, where I'm at is not really popping like that, so let me get out of here. Maybe if I could just get to America, or if I could just get to China, they're looking for other people to help them out, whereas Black Americans are like, we got to fix our stuff. We got to fix where our country needs us to change it. We don't need countries to change us. See, Africans have the idea of like, we as Black Americans are like, look, we got to fix this. We're not going nowhere else. It's almost like the slave nigga and the house nigga. The house nigga is like, okay, I'm trying to think of how I want to break this down for you. Okay, I put it to you like this. You know Malcolm X's speech about the slave nigga and the house nigga? This is some game that you might not know. Malcolm X's speech about the house nigga and the slave nigga was actually backwards. In Malcolm X's speech about the house nigga and the slave nigga, He makes it sound as though the house niggas are the comfortable ones who didn't want anything to change. He said the house nigga was always like, hey boss, we sick. He's talking about the house nigga in a bad light, saying the house nigga doesn't want to go nowhere, while the field nigga's the one that wants to run away. But Malcolm X, truth be told, he had that backwards. The house niggas are the ones that wanted to leave, because the house niggas knew, I'm already in the house with Massa. There's no better that this is going to get for me. How this house, I'm already in the house. There's nothing else I can do here to make this a better situation. I'm trying to get out of here, right? Whereas the slave nigga, the field nigga, was the one who was like, if I could just get to that house, if I could just get closer to Massa, if I could just get in the basement, if I could just eat Massa's leftovers, my life would be better. So while the field nigga is thinking it would be better to be with Massa, the house nigga was the one thinking, I'm trying to get away from Massa. And that's some game like Malcolm X had it backwards. So the field niggas is really the ones in Africa. They really the field niggas, only Malcolm X had it backwards. The niggas in Africa is thinking, if I could just get to America, if I could just get to America, my life would be better. If I could just get to China, my life would be better. That's why you see so many Africans move into America and they don't never go back home. They don't never go back to where they are separate from Massa. They don't never get to where they could control their own resources. They just want to be up under Western society where it's safer at, where it's already built, where it's already popping. They want to go to where it's already popping. But us as Black Americans, we already here. We was born here. It's already popping where we at. So we know the only way to make this joint pop, we can't flee to nowhere else. There's nowhere else for us to go that's going to be a better situation. There's nowhere else for us to go to make it, oh, I'm in America, but if I could just get to Uganda, then my life would be good. No, you don't see Americans being like, oh, it sucks in America. If I could just get to, you know what I'm saying? If I could just get to Madagascar, if I could just get to Mozambique. No, Black Americans don't have nowhere we can go that's better than where we're already at. So if we want our lives to improve, we can't flee. We gotta build. We gotta build. We're not going nowhere. Black Americans en masse are not trying to leave America. We're trying to build America. So that's why when people say, when we're pushing for reparations and y'all are like, oh, y'all are begging for handouts, y'all are begging for help. Nah, we're not begging for help. We're trying to make where we're at better for us. We're trying to make where we're at better for us. The civil rights, we already made the country better for all Black people. Any Black person that comes to America is having a better life than what they was having from before. That was because of us. We already made it good for everyone. But now we're trying to do something for us, trying to build something for us, because we don't have nowhere to flee to. We don't have nowhere we can go and be like, oh, I'm so glad I made it out of America. So where? So where can you go and it's going to be way better than America? Let's see what you're talking about. Sex trafficking is heavy in former Soviet and socialistic countries. Well, I'm not saying socialism is perfect, but this is the net result of embracing that ideology. However, Black Americans seem to be more moralistic than much of the world publicly, and they could have been the voice to eliminate that if they embraced socialism when opportunity was presented. Okay. I can see the argument for that. But like I said, even if we did embrace it, we are not a significant portion of the population. Like, a lot of Black Americans did support socialism. A lot of Black Americans did support communism. The Black Panthers were supportive. A lot of those people ran off to Asia. Like, a lot of Black Americans, the Panthers, a lot of people in the civil rights movement supported communism, socialism and communism. That's what the whole McCarthyism was about. They were trying to demonize the communists. The Black people were the main targets of that. So we did embrace it, but it wasn't enough to change the whole government. But hey, man, I'm gonna get going. I appreciate you coming and supporting the live. Like I said, I just figured out this new software, so I'm gonna be doing more lives every day. So check me out, yo. I'll be back. Keep these conversations popping. All right. Appreciate your support, yo. Be sure to hit the like button on your way out. I know you about to step off. Be sure to hit the like button before you go.